Here's how you too can profit $50,000 or more on your first real estate investment without using any of your own money. I thought it was crazy when I saw other people doing this, so the fact that it's actually worked for me, not only does it work, but it creates win-win-win Michael Scott situations with everybody involved. Everyone wins. So I want to tell you the details of the things that I learned the hard way in this deal and the things that have worked out better than I can imagine. Quick note, as the market changes and as the Fed keeps trying to push demand down for buyers, there's going to be more and more opportunities like this to buy real estate creatively. Instead of just throwing a property on the market and it's in contract in 3 seconds, $50,000 over asking price. We are entering a market where if you want to invest, you can get creative like this again. It's always been an option. It's going to become more realistic if you can solve other people's problems and you can be an active listener. So here's some details about the property. It was actually my very first listing as a realtor. I was pumped to get this listing. I've never had a listing side commission before. It's my friend's house. So I call my friend up. I say, hey man, how much do you want for this house? What would be your number that you want to get? He said, well, I'm on $250 for this house. So I said, great news. I think we could get like $280 to $310, depending on the interest we can stir up. I thought he'd be thrilled that I told him that. But he said, Kevin, it's not about the money. I said, what do you mean it's not about the money? Isn't it always about the money? No, it's not about the money. So I said, okay, well, what's it about? He said, well, I want time to find the right house for my wife and my kids. Totally reasonable request. But he wanted to request 6 or 12 month, no shorter than 6 month lease back from whoever were to buy his property. And he was willing to take a hit on the sale price in order to have that security and that flexibility. So I was trying to get creative to sell the property. I said, this might be a great investment. There's not many rentals in the area. I just think it would perform well. It's in about the best part of town to invest in the entire city. And you have a tenant who you know is going to take care of the property because they've taken care of it and kept it in the condition that it's in, which is immaculate, for the last 2 years that they've lived there. They're going to pay you good rent. You're going to cash flow. This is a win-win-win for everybody. So I was trying to get a deal together, and I was thinking about putting it in some investor groups and offering it up. Then I just kind of stopped myself. I said, wait a second. If I think this is a good investment for somebody, then why don't I try to invest in it myself? There's one problem. I don't have the cash to do it. No down payment, could definitely not pay it in full. But here's where active listening will help you achieve these kinds of deals if you're passionate about what you're doing and you keep talking about it. You see, about a month ago, I had a conversation with a buddy. We were talking about real estate because I can't shut up about real estate. He was telling me how he really, really wants to invest in real estate again, but he doesn't have time to manage properties or to manage the headaches that come along with real estate. He has the funds, but he doesn't have the time. But he wants all the rewards of investing in real estate. So here's where, if you have a great deal, then you can pitch it, no matter your experience, to somebody who has the funds but no deal. We ended up offering what the seller wanted, $250 minus the commission that I would charge. I wasn't going to take a commission on this deal, and a few $1,000s extra because we were buying the property sight unseen. We said you can stay in there for as long as you want. You can pay marginally above the mortgage payment you were paying, and we'll find you another house. So we did a little bit of negotiating back and forth, and we ended up making a great deal for both of us. I think he'd say so, and I definitely think so. Here's one problem that we experienced that I would probably go about differently now, knowing what I know about how to access funds. We were trying to purchase this property entirely in cash. We were going to purchase it for roughly $230,000. Well, my investor had about $180,000. Oh crap, where are we going to get the rest of the money? Should we mortgage the property? Should we just use it as a down payment? Is this going to get messy on the back end? I had no idea any of the answers to those questions. So me and my investor, we worked together because we both wanted to make some money out of this deal. It'd be so much easier to do it in cash. I said, do you know anybody who has some cash that wants a piece of this deal? I just think it's a no-brainer. And so sure enough, he did. He knew somebody that had $50,000 in deployable cash. Me and both of the investors, it took us a while to get our terms settled, what the return would be for their money, and they ended up saying that they wanted to get 10% interest on their money, lump sum payment, and 12 months max. So the quick math is, we bought the property really for $227, and in order to pay them back with interest, that number goes to $250. 53. Because I'm managing the property, because I'm dealing with the tenant, and because I'm carrying the title, they get second position on the property, and as protection to them, I'm carrying most of the risk. I get to keep the bigger part of the profit. And here we are, 4 months later, tenants have paid rent on the first day of every month, like clockwork. They've kept the property wonderful. They communicated with me because I'm also their buyer's agent when they go to find another property. We found a property that they love after looking at so many, and they're moving out, I think, tomorrow. Now, I am gonna put a little bit of my own money in to stage the property once all their furniture's moved out. Gonna make sure everything's in order. We go in, if we have to fix anything, we will. That's a minimal price to pay for what I'm hoping to make off this property, which is anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000, not including the rent that I collected for those 4 months. So all in, I'm expecting to make about $50,000 on this property, and I might put $2,000 of my own money into it. Investors are happy, sellers happy, and stay tuned for another video. I'll make sure to share some of the things that I think are most important when you go to write up this deal. If you're a realtor or if you use a realtor, then you shouldn't feel much fear about writing up the deal contractually. What can be confusing, if you've never done it before, I had never done it before, so going through this learning process was huge for me. What can be confusing is writing up the agreement between you and your private investors. How do you get them second position on the property so that they're protected? Because you want them to be protected. How do you obtain a promissory note? There's so many things, and if you keep watching my videos, I'll make sure to outline everything you need to know, just like somebody did for me when I didn't know what to do next. Moral of the story, if I can invest in real estate this way, so can you. And if you believe in yourself enough, and if you find the balls to do it, the courage to do it, it could change a lot for you in your future. Until next time.